Okay, good afternoon, everybody. David Silverman here, just outside of Washington, D.C. Glad you're here today. It's 1 p.m. Eastern. Debbie Wetzler, who is a triple diamond with this company, ASEA, and I'm an ambassador diamond, are going to do a presentation today. And Debbie is actually going to do most of the presentation. I'm on the medical professional board of the company, and sometimes people like to hear from doctors and get questions answered, and that's fine. I'm here. My background is foot surgery. I was board certified in foot surgery, foot orthopedics, primary podiatric medicine, and I own my own practice and surgery center, but I've sold it. And I'm very passionate about educating people I know and meet about this product and helping other people do the same with the people they know and meet. And that's what this is about today. So we have a very special presentation. I'm looking forward to seeing how simply Debbie Wetzler, who is a dear friend and just has been honored, has been honored by the company in so many ways, but also by the people who are sharing this gift. And she is going to present this, and I'm going to stick around to answer questions as well. So Debbie, I'm going to mute myself out, and I'm going to put it on speaker view so that you're the one that's on there, and I will turn it over to you, and I will be here to help answer questions, okay?
Okay, thank you, David, very much.
Thanks.
Just this past weekend, I was in North Carolina, and we did a lot of presentations for a lot of people who were quite interested in what we had to offer. And we did it in a very, very simple way, and so I thought I would do the same thing here. It's a presentation. I may show a few photos and pictures because there's nothing like a photo to show you what this product can do. And so essentially what we're talking about here, our company and this atomic medical physicist named Dr. Gary Samuelson has been the only person in the world to be able to replicate and stabilize redox signaling molecules in the body. Now, redox signaling molecules are something that our body needs. They're the foundational molecule that allow your bodies to heal. And when we're very young, we have trillions of redox signaling molecules in our bodies. And I think we can all remember back to when we were between the ages of 0 to 10, and we used to run around all day long and have tons of energy and go to playgrounds and climb steps that were half of our height and kick our legs up and do everything. And the next morning, we would never be sore. We'd just bounce out of bed and go again. And we would just constantly be running around and exerting energy. Well, there is a scientific reason for that we never have sore muscles or aching backs, and we have tons of energy. When we're very young, we have trillions of mitochondria in our cells. The mitochondria are literally what take the food we eat and turn it into energy. So we have tons of energy. And when the mitochondria is doing that, it throws off redox signaling molecules. And the redox signaling molecules, like I said, are what allow your bodies to heal very quickly. So when we're very young, we have trillions of these. We had tons of energy, we ran around all day, and we healed constantly. Our bodies never got sore. But something happens at puberty, and doctors don't even know what it is yet. That's another discovery that will be made soon, I'm sure. But we start losing the mitochondria in our body at a rate of 1% every year we're alive past the age of 10. And so by the time we get to 70, we're at about 10% of what we used to make. Now, you can always tell the difference in a 70-year-old and a 5-year-old by the amount of energy they have. 70-year-olds do not run around all day and have tons of energy, and how fast they heal. If a 70-year-old falls down and skins her knee, it's going to heal a lot more slowly than a 5-year-old. 5-year-old will get up, brush it off, and start running around again. 70-year-old may be in a coffee shop with her leg up, with her knee killing her, basically. And so that's what we're here to talk to you about today. So as I said, redox molecules are produced in literally every cell of your body. Our body takes the salt and water that we have in every cell and uses it as building material. And that's what redox signaling molecules are made from. And they have two huge jobs. They activate our antioxidants. So antioxidants, I hope everyone knows what they are, but in case you don't, they are what neutralize free radicals. They allow our bodies to detox, and they balance our immune system. Those are three of the major things. They do a lot of things. And our body produces three master antioxidants: glutathione, SOD, and catalase. And these are very, very powerful. If you eat one blueberry, it neutralizes one free radical. Glutathione, your master antioxidants, neutralizes 70 million free radicals a second. So it's very important for you to have glutathione in your body, regulating your whole body and your whole system. And there are about 255 diseases related to low glutathione levels. So again, that's very important to have. Well, by having redox signaling molecules in your body, they activate and turn on those antioxidants. And so you can think of it as an antioxidant as kind of a light bulb. And the redox signaling molecules are the electricity. So light bulbs don't work if they don't have electricity. And antioxidants don't work if they don't have redox molecules. So and the next thing that redox signaling molecules do that are very, very important is they're looking for damaged cells. And they will literally go anywhere in your body. They are so tiny, they're 4 atoms or smaller, that they will also cross the blood-brain barrier looking for damaged cells in your brain. And so you have amazing results because when they find a damaged cell, they send a very clear, loud message to the immune system, and the immune system comes in and either repairs the damaged cell, if it can be repaired, or if it's too badly damaged, such as in cancer cells, it will tell that cell to kill itself off, the body will take it away, and another healthy cell will reproduce itself, and you'll have healthy cells again. And of course, if all the cells in your body are healthy, then you are healthy. So that's their job. But again, as we get older, we not only lose the amount of redox molecules we have, but the cell signaling gets much weaker and much less effective. So you can compare it to having a house on fire in your body. And you're using your cell phone to call the fire department, and you're trying to get across the address so the fire department can come and put that fire out. And the fire is equivalent to a disease in your body or an injury. But the fire department can't hear because you've only got one bar on your cell phone. And so it doesn't know where to go. And so the house ends up burning down, and the fire department never reaches it. And so that's what's happening in your body. And those cell signals are not nearly as strong. And so for the first time ever in the history of mankind, we are able to replenish healthy redox signaling molecules back into our body. And those signals become loud and strong and clear again. And the fire department can hear where to go. And the fire department comes and puts the fire out. And your body heals itself. And in that way, it's been extraordinary what doctors around the world have seen that they never thought they would see the body be capable of doing. Because the body is an incredible instrument. And it is capable of healing things that, like I said, and repairing and replacing things that doctors never thought would happen. But we've never been able to replenish our redox signaling molecules in our body before. And so this is an extraordinary, extraordinary breakthrough. And I will just show you just a slide to show you just how big the science is, because that's something that's very important, I think, to know that this was not a company that started with a product and just wanted to sell the product. That was not the way this started at all. This was started because it was a huge area of science. And it wasn't until our instruments became strong enough and sophisticated enough to be able to see where these molecules were made and be able to tell what they were doing. So these instruments had to take videos of these molecules and slow it down so they could see where they were produced and then what they actually did. And when that happened, and that wasn't until the 90s, there were redox and Nobel Prizes awarded for redox biochemistry research. And doctors and scientists became very excited, and they started writing journals about it and seeing what they did and what they were producing, and they're learning more and more and more every year. And so there's now over 1,200 books that have been published, textbooks, journals that are published monthly. And literally, if you go to a site called pubmed.gov, which is an international public library of health, you'll find now over 70,000 studies. Now, these are studies that doctors do, and then they have them peer reviewed by other doctors. And then they're able to publish them there. So you can type in signaling molecules and whatever you're looking at, cancer, MS, Crohn's, Parkinson's, autism, Alzheimer's, whatever you want to, and find studies done with redox signaling molecules and those diseases. And so anything you want to look up, and anything, this is where doctors go daily to do their research. So they can then see what redox signaling molecules have to do with the body and how it functions. And of course, we have taken ASEA to Harvard, UCLA, Universities of Washington, Indiana, and Utah. They all validated that we had redox molecules and wanted to know how Virtus had done it. And he goes, well, that's patented, so you're not going to find out. And then we took ASEA to the Human Performance Lab in North Carolina, associated with Duke, North Carolina, NC State, and Appalachian State, and 3 others. And they put it in a $500 million machine to validate that it was indeed redox molecules before they ever did any research on it. And lastly, we took it to the North Carolina Triangular run company by PhDs, and they test 8 out of the top 10 biotech and pharmaceutical companies for ingredients that they say are in their products. And so we say we're redox. They test every batch of our ASEA to make sure that there's trillions of redox molecules in every batch. And then they stamp the back of our bottle. They put their label and their word on it to prove that we are indeed redox. So now you can show a bottle of ASEA to a doctor who wants studies and research, and then send them to pubmed.gov, and they can connect their own dots. And that's how important this is. And I said pictures are worth 1,000 words. So here's some of the photos of before and after. Now, 4 years after discovering redox as a liquid, we were able to put it into a gel form. And that took a lot of research, because these molecules are so reactive that literally you take them into your mouth, and then the minute they touch organic tissues in your body, they go right to work. And so they had to find something very benign to put these redox molecules in. So they finally discovered a clay that they could put them in that they don't react. And you rub, and it forms a gel, and you rub that gel on, and the redox molecules go right into your system. And so using the gel, it came out to help us look younger, because we took it to dermatologist labs, and it was proven that about 20% for everything, less wrinkles just in 28 days, less depth in wrinkles, smoothness, elasticity, more hydration. I mean, you don't get more elasticity unless your cells are getting younger. And they did prove that this regenerates cells 16% faster. So just by using the gel on these people, you can see the difference in, most of the time, just 28 days. The difference in this lady's neck. This man did something only a man would do. He put it on half of his face, but he's a researcher. So he wanted to have the exact same palette and the exact same cells to show the difference in 28 days in one half of his face. You can definitely see the difference in the depth of his wrinkles here, around his eyes, and around his mouth and lips within just 28 days. And this man had a horrible crack that causes a lot of pain, and in just 1 week that had healed itself. This lady's eyes had puffiness, and again around her lips she had very deep wrinkles. You can also see the difference. And we've had some people that would have been permanently damaged and scarred for life if they hadn't had redox signaling molecules. So again, most of these people were drinking these also, but they put the Renew 28 on, and in just 2 months' time, you can't even tell that she had any kind of injury or skin disease or burn, whatever she had. This man had a skin tag. Those are damaged cells. They're not supposed to be there. They got the communication not to reproduce themselves and to disappear and go away. And that's how David first found out about it. A gentleman that he worked with and a good friend of his, all the skin tags under his arm completely disappeared and went away. And even though he called and said, I'm standing in front of the mirror naked, David said, that's too much information. He said, you have to listen. This isn't a placebo. And then this lady had a skin rash that bothers a lot of people, and it usually is almost impossible to get rid of. And I know because I had the same thing, and nothing ever helped it until I got on the ASEA, and mine completely disappeared. This is my favorite picture, and I should put the one, I've got 4 pictures of her now. This was Rosie. She had seen what this did for her son, who was in a horrible car accident, on about 70 medicines per day, basically, just for his pain. And she saw him get off of all of those and turn his life around completely. And so she got on it, and she started feeling wonderful. But after 7 weeks, she came back and she said, Mark, I feel wonderful on this, but I'm not seeing any difference in the way I look. And of course, Mark almost fell over, and he's like, Mom, are you kidding? Luckily, he had taken a before shot, and he took the after shot and pushed it in front of her and said, and looked and showed her, and she said, I guess I will stay on this product. That just goes to show you that when you're looking at your own cells and your own face, how slowly a cell regeneration is. So you're looking at your own face every day. You're not noticing anything. So if you're going to try this and you're going to try it for appearance and looking younger, make sure you take a before shot before you ever drink and or use Renew 28, because you will be stunned by the difference. And if you use our whole skincare system, it can be in 48 hours that you notice that big of a difference. So be prepared. I have other pictures that I can show, and I'd be happy to do that. To get just to a little bit of our company, the company is a rock solid company, and that was very important to many of us who were looking at this. We all found the science to be very secure and concrete. There's tons of it backing it up now. Virtually, we're in 33 countries. It cannot possibly not be real. We're in 33 countries. We've just hit momentum. We're rock solid. We were making money in the 7th month. We were completely making money and debt free. So this is a very solid, secure company and product. There would be no way we would still be in business if this was just salt water. So now ASEA is 10 years old. Vertus, our founder, has turned it over to a highly experienced and conservative management team. And half of them have network marketing experience, a lot of it, and very good network marketing experience. And the other half are corporate, just like he was. He was from the corporate Fortune 100. He was running and vice president of strategy for Kraft Foods, a $36 billion business, and was able to turn around departments in Kraft within months and make them the #1 producing department. He knows how to run a company, and he turned it over to men who are very well qualified to follow in his footsteps. As I said, we were profitable in the 7th month. We have 0 debt. We produce now all of our own product, and it's shipped from one source in Salt Lake to 18 global distribution centers around the world. So no one can copy our product. They can't have the patents or any of the process, and we ship it everywhere. And as I said, we just went over the $100 million mark. So now we're officially in momentum, meaning we're going to keep growing at a rate of about probably 20% a month when we get into full momentum. And so we have the capacity, though, to make $84 million worth of products right now. And we're at $800 million worth of products right now. And we're at 100. So we have plenty of room to grow. But within 2 weeks, we can roll in enough equipment into that facility to create $1.6 billion worth of products. So we are ready for momentum. We are ready to gear up to be able to produce that much product. There shouldn't ever be a lack of product going out or a back order on it. And so we are post-risk and we're in momentum, and we're all so excited because the world is finally discovering redox. They're beginning to understand it. They've seen it on social media. They're like, what is that stuff again? And people are getting it a lot faster now when I'm talking to people. Literally everybody in the meeting that I was in, and there were 8 solid people there who had a lot of health background, they all signed up. It was pretty amazing. So people are really beginning to get it. So that's where we are, and I can just tell you that we have had all kinds of people who are very well known. One of the ladies there said, Ann Louise Gettleman's back, sis. She's incredible. That's a lot of times all it takes. And Ann Louise Gettleman was known as the mother of nutrition, the first lady of nutrition, I should say. And she says, ASEA, in my humble estimation, is the greatest advance in lifestyle medicine, which harnesses the power of your own body to keep you well. And she's actually endorsed this in her books, her recent ones, and she's going back to change her books to include ASEA. And she loves the nutrition that we put out. She said, you guys have hit a home run, and you have no idea the research. She said, everything I would ask in little detail was covered by your research people. She was truly amazed by it. The Hippocrates Institute, which again, they knew a lot about in the presence where I was in North Carolina. And they have an incredible rate of helping people cure themselves of many things by changing the way they eat, their mindset, and their exercise. But I have talked personally to Dr. Brian Clemens 3 times in 3 different, I've gone to 3 of his lectures. And he's who runs the Hippocrates Institute. And he said ASEA was the best product beyond anything he's ever seen, that he's ever seen in his life. And they sell it at Hippocrates. And they did their own double-blind research on it before they ever decided to sell it. So if you know the Hippocrates Institute, that's another huge endorsement for our product. So again, we have tons of science. Most people don't want to know the science. They just want to know, is it safe? Will it work for me? And I can guarantee you both of those things. It will work for you as long as you take enough of it and take it for long enough. It will change your body's cell metabolites and your blood within 30 minutes of taking it. But people do not feel that. So unless you're doing a live blood cell test, you won't see it, and you won't feel the difference in your metabolites. But I can guarantee you that it's working. And it takes 50% of the people a month to feel it, and 90% of the people feel it in about a 3-month period. So I always ask my people when I introduce them to this to make sure that they give it at least a 90-day period, because cells regenerate slowly, and you may not feel anything until 90 days, and you've taken a long time to get to where you are. If you've got any kind of disease or injury, it's been there for a while, and you want to give this time to work. And I tell anybody, I do not want you to badmouth my company. This product works, and it works on everybody, and I don't want you going out there and saying it doesn't work. So unless you're going to give it 90 days, I'm not going to give it to you. And that's how I do my business, basically, because I want them to know it works. So that's it about redox. We also have an incredible nutrition line, and for that I would just play probably Alan Noble's short video that he has on amazingmolecules.com. He's done an incredible job of telling you about the nutrition. We have Source Biome, which is a gut and digestive health, and we all have had testimonials on the Source and Biome, and LifeMax, which allows your cells to live a length of time in a longer, healthier state, and which gives you, of course, a longer life and in a healthier state. So the ASEA Via line is an incredible line, and for that, like I said, I usually just play Alan Noble's video. So that's it. We would love to have you come and join us, and we would love to answer any questions that you might have. We do have lots and lots and lots of fun. It's become my extended family. My parents are both gone, and this is I can call David or many other people and ask for advice on a personal level if I want, because they're there. And I know I love them and they love me. And it's just become a very unique family situation. And of course, the money we're making helps us support our families, feed our children, send them to college, buy necessities, but we also make a lot of memories, which is very important. Berta says, if you're making money, make memories. Those are your most important things. So I've made lots and lots and lots of memories in this company with my family, because I'm able to go away and make residual income as I am away, because I've shared this with people and they are still continuing to use the product. And I make lots of memories with my extended family, ASEA, last year in Panama, this year in Ireland, and I don't have my Irish pictures up yet. So, David, I would love to open it up for questions, or if you have anything to add yourself.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Debbie. That was great. It was quick and simple, and we have resources, and I'm going to share a couple that you mentioned just so people know. And you know, people always ask, will this product work for, you know, my blood sugar problem, or my chronic fatigue problem, or my eye problem, or my breathing problem, or whatever? It's a cellular health product. So as you described, it really doesn't matter what type of cells you're talking about. And the fact that it's so safe, and that you mentioned it's as safe as water. There are three factors about this that are remarkable with regards to safety. One, no one can be allergic to it. It's in everybody. Two, it's non-toxic. If you drink too much of it, it doesn't overtax your liver. Your body just turns the excess back into what it was, which was saline. And three, it doesn't interact with other medications. So it isn't a medication, but doesn't interact with medications or herbs. This website, amazingmolecules.com, you can see intraspecific videos on the product, intraspecific videos on the business. The Genesis video is the one that everybody should watch. I urge you, I implore you, watch this video. People say, well, if this works so well, why don't we know about it? This explains that. This explains why it's marketed through word of mouth marketing. Thank God Virtus did not sell it to the pharmaceutical company. There's the video Debbie was talking about the nutritionals. That's very worth watching, because this product has no nutritional value, the REDOX, but this does. So that's pretty important. The last thing I want to mention before we open up for questions is this. You know, Debbie mentioned that the gel and the different things that it does, and aging skin. Debbie went over this, the double-blind study that was done at Dermatest. The highest rating they give a product's 5 stars. They gave it 5 stars. There's no toxicity. There are the numbers she mentioned. Okay, people use it for skin problems, as you saw. But here's the way to validate it very quickly. And this is why it's nice to be sitting with a person if you can, because if you have the tube of gel with you, the Renew 28, ask people if they have anything in their body that's hurting them. Do they have any discomfort in their body? Because all it takes is 10 minutes. And what you do is you have them rate their discomfort on a scale of 1 to 10, wherever it is. You put the gel on 3 times in 5 minutes, so you shake it up. And if you can see me in the picture here, I'm just putting it on my face. It's clear. There's no smell. There's no greasiness. But if the neck hurts, the wrist hurts, the cramping, rate the discomfort on a scale of 1 to 10. Put the gel on 3 applications in the first 5 minutes. And then by the 10th minute, ask them how they're doing. Now, I'll ask you a question. For those of you who are skeptical, or looking at it as a business, would it impress you if you had 10 people that were hurting and you put the gel on and within 10 minutes, 3 said, oh my gosh, this is amazing? Would that surprise you if it was 3 out of 10? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe you would say it's mental in their head or a coincidence. Would it impress you if it was 5 out of 10 people that said the exact same thing? Would it impress you if it was 7 out of 10 people? At that point, you'd probably say there's something very significant here. How could 7 of these 10 people who have all levels of hurting, some crippled, some with a little bit of discomfort in their finger, how could 7 out of 10 be so happy within 10 minutes? Well, what if it was 9 out of 10? What if you took the gel and you went and you put it on 10 people you know, and you did 3 times in 5 minutes, that little video I shot, 3timesin5minutes.com, and you saw 9 out of 10 people say, okay, what is this? I need this. This is amazing. I just implore you to do that. I implored you to do two things. Watch the Genesis video at amazingmolecules.com and take, while you're testing the drink for 90 days, okay, do that on 10 people the first day, and you will absolutely, absolutely know that this is magnificent and that it's not salt and water, that it's made from salt and water. And that, yes, there's a huge science behind this, but it is a lot more than salt and water. And if you're opportunistic and you want to help people and make money, there's nothing wrong with making money. We want you to join us. And if you don't want to make money, but once you know that it's real, please refer people to the person that introduced it to you. They're building a business. They're improving their lives, their livelihood, their families. And we take referrals. Not everybody's interested in getting involved, but a lot of people are struggling or settling through life. And so we have something to help them, okay? So I'm going to stop the recording.
I'll just tell you one last thing, and you can still record this. Because I know that the gel works that quickly, and I always tell people about the 3 and 5, I was able to help the man whose house I was in. He used to be a professional tennis player, and he literally was hobbling in. His feet were killing him. He'd had some injuries, and he had knots in his feet, and he could barely walk. And then he had just stood for his other job 14 hours up in New York on cement. He literally was crawling in on his knees. And I said, take your shoes and socks off. And I rubbed it 3 times in 5 minutes on one foot. And again, as David said, you should have seen his face. He first he couldn't believe it. Then he just went, oh my God, you've got to be kidding me. It can't work that fast. It just can't. And he's moving his foot, and he goes, I wasn't able to move my foot. And he's curling his toes, and he's like, oh my God, put it on the other foot, put it on the other foot. So I put it on the other foot. So he's literally dancing around, and these are in front of all these people that are there at her house to see the presentation. And then he goes, and I have this huge knot in my back, and I've gone to the chiropractor 2 times, and I've had a massage, a deep tissue and hot rock massage. And so I went in and I rubbed it 3 times on 5 minutes, and he's like, no way, no way. And he gets up, and he's got a big booming voice, and he's going through his house, and he's doing deep knee bends, and he's dancing on his feet, and the whole people are watching all this. And he goes, this is insane. I'm in, I'm totally in. So that's what you can get knowing that this product works that quickly on people. So, all right, David, you can cut off the recording and we can answer questions.
Okay. And what's kind of cool, as a doctor, when I was practicing, I could get that kind of satisfaction of helping people, but I couldn't teach people how to put screws in broken ankles or inject for plantar fasciitis, heel spurs, or things. But I can teach a doctor to do this. I can teach an interior decorator to do this. In fact, an interior decorator taught me. Debbie was an interior decorator, and she taught me, the doctor. You can teach anybody to do this, and it is a thrill. People say, how can you be so excited after doing something for 7 years? Because it's not a job, it's a joy. And while I know about the secret, I get the satisfaction of helping people. But then like what Debbie's saying, seeing the light in people's eyes when the light bulb goes on. When you do this, and they're like, how could that happen like that? Something that's made from salt and water. It's a gift, it's a joy. And we hope that you join us in at least sharing this with people. So I'm going to stop the recording and see if there are any questions. Hang on.